We hope you heard the breaking news just moments ago, but if you didn't, President Trump says he is, quote, terminating the international nuclear treaty, saying that it's meant to send a signal to Russia and China, adding that it's, quote, a threat to whoever you want. You can't play that game with me. Says that the Russians have been violating this treaty, and the U.S. has to do something about it. Our next guest is a leading analyst of politics and society in Russia and the Ukraine, and has even advised governments on diplomatic efforts on Eurasian conflicts. Matthew Rozhansky is joining us live. Matthew, do you believe the president? Are we out? Is he terminating this deal?
Look, I believe him. The timing of exactly when the diplomats would send an instrument indicating that, technically the treaty's not in force anymore, who knows? But the White House has taken a decision. The Obama administration communicated for many years to the Russians, calling their bluff. Look, we know you're in violation of this treaty. We're going to do something about it. We're going to do something about it. This is now the administration saying, and what we're going to do is we're going to pull out. You can't have your cake and eat it too anymore. And I think that's the message that John Bolton took to Moscow today.
The first days of the war, we landed near the Hostomel airport near Kyiv. This is because the Russians took over that airport.
Needed supplies. The Russian Airborne Forces, or otherwise known as the VDV, are given the task of securing this airport and accomplishing this vital mission. It is evident to the National Guard that they are outnumbered and decide to retreat from the airport. Upon retreating, the National Guard unit called in an artillery strike in a last-ditch attempt to disable the runway and prevent a further landing of troops. After the Ukrainians had retreated, open-source intelligence suggests that Russia was still willing to use the runway, and it may have been still usable, as 18 Il-76 cargo planes were inbound to Hostomel Airport. Nevertheless, the airport was recaptured, and the inbound Il-76 cargo planes were rerouted back to Russia. The Ukrainians were no doubt relieved by their success. But their plans would only be temporary, as the next day Russia sent a mechanized force, which had managed to find its way to Hostomel Airport from the Battle of Ivankiv and also survived repeat ambushes on its journey. The mechanized unit would end up expelling the Ukrainians from the airfield and allow Russia to reclaim the airport. But the airfield could not be used, as the damage was too severe and thus rendered the airstrip unusable. Furthermore, the airport continued to be contested for the next following weeks. But finally, on April 1st, the Russians withdrew from the airport.
Що, друзі, відремонтуємо нашу мрію і знову буде літати.
Сейчас нам говорят, чтобы мы подписывали какие-то бумаги, типа хотят нас уволить, типа завтра говорят, типа если мы будем уволены, а сегодня нас отвезут в КПД. Вот.
I think Russia is something could be done with them right now because they're not
Like
looking
what?
so
What's
good. They're
the
looking,
solution?
but they are looking. Well, you have to work out a deal. They have to stop killing these people. They're killing all these people, and they have to stop it. And they have to stop it now.
I am in Gostomel, and this is the biggest aircraft in the world. This was the biggest aircraft in the world. It was called Mriya. It means dream in English. And you see what Russian world made with our dream. But I want to assure you, we will rebuild our country. We will rebuild our dream. Our country will be beautiful, prosperous, and Russia will pay for everything they did. It's impossible to kill the dream.
The giant in the skies, the largest airliner in the world. This is the Antonov AN-225 Mriya, the world's largest cargo aircraft ever built. The plane was a modern engineering marvel, able to transport up to 250 tons of cargo. The Mriya attracted a high degree of public interest, attaining a global following due to its size and uniqueness. However, it has also achieved 214 other national and 124 international records, including the airlift of the most significant payload ever at 279 tons. Today, Antonov AN-225 was initially intended to take the Soviet Buran space shuttle back from its landing site to the Baikonur spaceport in Kazakhstan. After the end of the space program, Antonov Airlines converted the AN-225 into a cargo plane. The AN-225 rose to be the workhorse of the Antonov Airlines fleet as it began carrying cargo that was once thought impossible to move by air, including 130-ton generators, diesel locomotives, and wind turbine blades. Here is the cockpit, located just above the main cargo bay, to ensure the aircraft has as much capacity as possible for carrying cargo. You must ascend a ladder to enter the cockpit because the main deck is reserved for the cargo bay. The nose of the aircraft is a cargo door, which allows maximum loading size of cargo. The upper deck with a cockpit, crew rest cabin, and cabin for accompanying personnel, each with a maximum thrust capacity of 229.5 kilonewtons. The last mission of the AN-225 was from February 2nd through 5th, 2022, where it was to collect 90 tons of COVID-19 test kits from Tianjin, China, and deliver them to Billund in Denmark. While being stored in a hangar in Hostomel, Ukraine, during this time the war between Russia and Ukraine broke out and the airfield was raided by Russian troops. Eventually, it was discovered that the AN-225 was destroyed during the Battle of Antonov Airport. Meanwhile, debris of the AN-225 remains in the hangar where it was destroyed. In May 2022, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said he plans to have the plane rebuilt and make it a tribute to all the Ukrainian pilots who died during the Russian-Ukraine war. The Antonov AN-225 is such a phenomenon. That is why it is no surprise that aviation fans around the world frequently visit airports to observe the plane's scheduled arrivals. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button and the bell so you're notified when I make a new video. For more updates and suggestions, check out Learn from the Base social medias. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned a lot, and I will see you next time.
Try to spin it however you want to spin it, but we've got the info, we've got the goods. Anyway, Donald Trump's next response. I don't. Tell me if you even understand what this even means. Who sends a $1 billion blimp with the most sophisticated equipment in the world and large enough to hold 10 cars or 3 large buses into a complex pattern over the United States without it quite possibly being manned, such as the manned spacecraft? China should have been called to ask. If no, shoot it down. If yes, negotiate the greatest deal ever. Early signs of, not even early signs of dementia. And I don't want to even give him excuses here. But what the hell is he even saying there? China should have been called to ask. If no, shoot it down. If yes, negotiate the greatest deal. What is he talking about? A manned balloon speed? I genuinely have no clue what he's saying there, other than that he is a disgusting individual who just says a bunch of words and just reveals each day what a freaking idiot he is.
Правый сектор. Тоже находили на позиции. А это далеко?
И наших москалей. Ну и людям, кто жил рядышком. Не повезло.
This is a recruitment video for the notorious Wagner Group, a Russian private military company which normally operates in the shadows.